Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well today. It's Star here, and I'm just here to show you guys my Bennett build. This is my support energy recharge Bennett build. This kid is a literal freaking rechargeable battery, and he's insane, and if you're not using him on your team, I don't understand why you're not, because this kid is essential on almost every single team. He is the leader of Benny's adventure team, and it's sad because he doesn't even have an actual team, but they still let him adventure around. So we'll have to bring him along on all our parties just because of how awesome this guy is. So first things first, I think I should show you guys my details. Yes, I got a crazy amount of HP, and you can go even higher if you get a better roll, but hey, max HP is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not get hurt, so I'll max out my HP. Bofuri reference. We've got an attack of 811, and we don't really have to worry about this plus 1010. You do not need any extra damage. You only need to worry about your base attack from your actual character and the base attack that comes from your sword. So hopefully you've got a pretty strong sword, and we can get into that in a moment, and we'll discuss which are probably the best swords to use on him. Next up, our defense. You're honestly only using him to pop his burst and to swing his E. You don't really have to worry about getting hit with this kid because he's just going to be in the sidelines where he belongs for now, just because he's our support and he's there to help us along the way. Sadly, we've got extra crit damage, which we don't necessarily need, but the way that my equipment was rolling, this is how it ended up. Healing bonus. A lot of people say you don't really need healing bonus, but again, I'm not trying to get hurt, so I'm going to max out my HP, and anytime I'm inside his queue, I can guarantee I am not going to die. I can play a game of chicken and I will not die. If you even hit me, I will heal back up. You Abyss Mages is not touching me and anybody else who has healing bonus. Next up, energy recharge. I wish I could get this to 200%. I wish the 26% that went to crit damage went to energy recharge, but it did not happen. Literally, that's all I wanted. I wanted 200% energy recharge so I can get about 2 energy per particle, and that would have been amazing. Next up, we don't have anything down for our pyro damage or damage bonuses or resistances, because again, he is not our DPS at the moment. He's just here to support our primary DPS and be an awesome member for the team. So let's get the easier thing out of the way, weapons. Alright, so right off the bat you can see that I got myself an Alley Flash with Refinement rank 4. Now, I want you to understand this. For this weapon at least, you don't have to worry about Refinement rank just because this damage dealt by the character, it's not going to apply towards your Q ability, so you don't need to worry about that, okay? So let me just show you some of the good things about this. It has a base attack of 620, which is pretty insane for a 4-star weapon. This is a 4-star weapon reaching 5-star capabilities with base attack. Next up, it's subset of Elemental Mastery. This also helps out Bennett's E and Q, so you'll be able to proc more damage with any elemental reactions that he can trigger. Now, let me show you some of the prizes in my collection. We do have an Achille Favonia, and you may be wondering, why don't I max this out? Because this thing has like a base attack of about 672, I'm pretty sure, once it's capped out. So, you gotta pretty much decide for yourself, is that 672 plus worth it in comparison to the Elemental Mastery and base attack of 620 that the Alley Flash provides you? I don't think it's worth it just because of the physical damage bonus. This isn't really going to be helping me at all when I'm playing the game. So I can't really justify me using it for my Benny build, specifically since I'm not even trying to hit with Benny, just pop his E and Q whenever I can. Next up, you're asking yourself, why the heck am I not using the Sacrificial Sword? It is an amazing sword, however, since I do want to have Xingqiu on a majority of team comps, he needs it so much more than Bennett just because of the ridiculous cooldown off of Xingqiu's E. So I figured, hey, might as well have this young man equipped with this instead. Also, the base attack, when it's maxed out, it's not as good as the 4-star Alley Flash. I can show you the stats in a moment, by the way. I'm gonna make sure to show you guys the level 90 stats for all of these weapons. Oh, this is Prototype Rancor. I'm looking for Favonia's sword right here. Alright, so this one has... I haven't even leveled it up just because I know I'm never going to want to use this. It does have energy recharge, which is something I really do want in most of my swords for Bennett. However, the base attack stat is not going to help out at all. I'm pretty sure it's around the 510 range when you max it out. I do have it open, so I'm kind of checking, kind of not, but I'll make sure to put it up on the screen for you. Now, this is if you're down bad, you just started the game, you somehow have a Benny, but you don't have any of these 4-star weapons because you're not summoning on the weapon banner or You're just not getting lucky. You're getting shafted on the standard pulls and the event wishes, and you're not getting anything else. The Skyrider sword, it has base attack. Well, every sword has base attack. I'm stupid for saying that, but energy recharge. You want a sword with energy recharge for Bennett. Elemental Mastery is the second one you would want. However, you have to consider the base attack stats of the sword you're using. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys a website real quick. Alright, so I'm currently on honeyhunsyworld.com. As you can see, I'll make sure to leave the link down in the description for you guys if you want to check it out yourselves. So let's show you all the substats real quick. The Alley Flash maxed out, as you saw with my account, 620 base attack, 55 elemental mastery. We don't have to worry about its substat, like its actual effect. Then we got Festering Desire. If you don't have this, this was part of a event exclusive for 1.3, I'm pretty sure, during like the Chalk Prince. I wasn't here for that event, sadly. I dropped the game for a little bit, but I'm back. And as you can see, at level 90, it has a cap of 510 base attack with a 45.9 energy recharge. Next up, we've got the Skyrider sword, the 3-star masterpiece with a 354 base attack and a 52% energy recharge. Again, this is if you're down bad and you don't have anything else that can help you out at the moment. Next up, the Favonius sword, a 4-star masterpiece, 454 base attack, 61.3% energy recharge. Again, crit hits have a 60% chance to generate a small amount of energy particles. So yeah, this is a great way to build up your energy. Or your Qs, I mean. Or your ults. Q, ult, whichever you call it. It's all good. Then we got our Sacrificial Sword. Whenever you tap your E, you have a certain percent chance to get it back instantaneously, but it only occurs once every 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure it reduces with the more refinement you have. I'm not too sure about that. But this does have a 454 base attack and 61% energy recharge. And last but not least, we've got our 2 5-star swords. Aquila Favonia with a staggering 674 base attack. This is the highest base attack of any sword in the game. Next up, we also got our physical damage of 41.3%, which you do not need for Bennett since you're not supposed to be hitting with him unless you are going for a DPS Bennett build, which you can do. I would try it at some point just to have some fun with it. But for now, I'm just doing my, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm going to max out my HP Benny at the moment. And last but not least, the Skyward Blade. If you got one of these, you're doing pretty good for yourself. You got yourself 608 base attack with a 55% energy recharge. I'm pretty sure that they scaled it so that the 4 stars would have less damage, or a lot less damage, but a little bit more energy recharge in comparison to this. So yeah, this is all of the level 90 stats for the weapons that I think would be a perfect fit for Benny. So let's get back to looking at Benny, alright? Okay, so now that we're looking at our artifacts page, I'll just show you my artifact details so you can get a quick rundown of what we've got. Plus 16,000 HP, an additional 808 attack, which we're not gonna add onto our Benny's Q because it doesn't add up because it only works off of base attack. Defense we don't have to worry about just because Benny's not gonna be getting hurt in this build at all because he's just there to pop his Q and his E. Next up, Elemental Mastery. We are trying to get, we don't have to focus on this. Again, you'd rather have energy recharge. But Elemental Mastery is just always a good thing to have on your character. Trust, almost every character needs it or they benefit off of it. Crit damage, this was a pain. I do not want this at all on my current Benny build just because this is for support. I'm not really attacking with Benny. Healing bonus, this will get you an insane amount of heal. You will not die if you have a healing bonus piece on your character Benny. If you have it, you're not dying, I guarantee it. Even without it, you're not going to die, but I'm an insane lad and I wanted more healing for my party members. Energy recharge, this can always be higher, but we need to get more God roll stats, which I did not have the time to do. I wanted to get this out there because my Benny's already good enough, and I'm gonna make him even better around 1.5 once I start farming up again. So I'll show you some of the actual stats we got on here. Wrong one to start off with. Our flower, it does have HP percentage, energy recharge, attack, and elemental mastery. Now, the way I wanted to focus this was HP percentage is the #1 thing you want to get. The more HP percent, the better. After that, base HP is fine. Attack and attack percentage, you don't have to worry about it just because it is not going to help Benny's Q at all. If you want more damage on your Benny for like when he's just auto attacking, you do you, but I wouldn't recommend it. Next up, Elemental Mastery. Like I said earlier, every character benefits off of it. So if you get it, don't be tight, just be glad. Energy recharge is always better, by the way. Right here, this is pretty perfect for me just because this is the Plume of Death. It's easy to level up. We got HP and HP percentage and elemental mastery, which is god war for me, to be honest. And again, attack is not leveling up your Benny's Q or powering it up, so don't worry about that. It's always going to max out, by the way, because you got to max out to get higher substats. The reason why I have an attack focused Sands of Eon is because I do not have any other Noblesse Oblige set that has it focused that way. I would have gone Energy Recharge, which is the smart thing to do, but I did not get an extra one, and this is pretty good for my Xingqiu, by the way. Now, I know I have something that's pretty amazing here, but yeah, this is perfect. But attack percentage, if this said HP percentage or energy recharge, I would have been a happy duck. I would have loved to see it. Sadly, we can't use it. Next up, we got a goblet with HP, and this one also is kind of not that good. It's really not good for Benny at all. I need to go back and farm again. This has crit damage at 26%, which is a waste. This was the only thing leveling up. I think attack leveled up one time, by the way, but energy recharge and HP did not get touched, which was... It broke my heart to see that it wasn't getting leveled up. So I'm gonna have to farm another one at some point. By the way, this is just a small flex. I do have a god roll for Kuchi, and it's amazing. Love it. Next on, this is not it. We gotta go back to seeing all of them. Our Gladiator's Finale does have healing bonus, and this is how I'm able to get insane heals for all my characters on the field. So amazing to have. I pretty much guarantee I can win any game of chicken when I'm inside Benny's ultimate or his inspiration field. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so now let's take a look at Benny's Constellation, Road to Calamatias. And for C1, this should be C6 to be honest, just because of how good this is. This Constellation makes him SS God tier pretty much. He is a monster of a unit thanks to this one Constellation. So what this first Constellation does, it removes the HP requirement in order to receive Benny's attack bonus from his inspiration field. It also grants him an additional 20% of Bennett's base attack, so you're gonna be dealing some insane numbers if you're inside that inspiration field. Next up, we never really had to worry about this one. It's kind of useless for most cases because when Bennett's HP falls below 70%, his energy recharge is increased by 30%. If this were to apply to my Benny, I'd be at 200% energy recharge guaranteed, but I'm never at or below 70%, so this doesn't apply to me. Next up, we've got the typical Constellation level 3, which increases your Passion Overload by 3. Next up, we've got Unexpected Odyssey, and this one just lets you pull off another attack with Benny's E. Let me show you guys that move real quick. It looks like this. This is his basic one where you just tap it. Only has a 3-second cooldown, by the way. Now this is it, Unexpected Odyssey version. It does this and then that. Let me show you what it looks like normally, by the way, just so you can see what it looks like without the C4. It doesn't have that little plunging down attack. And last but not least, let me show you his entire charge version. This is like that super beast level. You want to fall off of the cliff just to look super cool. Alright, now let's go back to Constellations. And this is one I desperately want just to increase my Benny's Q. This +3, I've never realized how important it was until I wanted it for just Benny. Like, there's no other unit I want C5 more than Benny at the moment. Last but not least, for any user, to be honest, like Sword, Claymore, or Polearm users are primary DPS. Sadly, this doesn't apply to Chao just because he's a bow wielder. If you're inside the radius of the Fantastic Voyage or the Inspiration Field, you'll also gain an additional 15% pyro damage bonus, and your weapon is going to be imbued by the pyro element. So once I get him C6, I'm pretty sure I'll get him C6 soon, because if he's a featured unit on the next banner, it'll be amazing. Alright, so let's take a look at his talents. The way I see his talent focus, you just want to level up Fantastic Voyage primarily. If you ever want to go back and work on him some more, Passion Overload, and then normal attack, Strike of Fortune. You really don't need to touch this at all. If you're building Benny the way I have him, you don't need to touch this whatsoever. This if you want to do some extra damage, but it's not gonna get you more energy, to be honest. Primary focus is gonna have to be Fantastic Voyage. So let's take a look at this. Attack bonus of 90%. If you want to calculate how much damage bonus you're gonna get off of that, you just gotta go to your attributes, go to your details. You can scroll up. 811 divided by 100, that's 81.1. 81.1 times I think I did this wrong. 811 divided by 100 is 8.11. 8.11 times 90. That is the number you would get, and I think that's like what? 723, I think. I might be like super close or like off a little bit, but I'm not accounting for decimals when I'm doing those numbers. Now let's take a look at his other talents. Rekindle. Decreases your passion overload's cooldown by 20%. Amazing to get. Be able to pop it off cooler. So instead of 5 seconds, it drops down to 3 seconds as you saw earlier. Now, fear not. Within the area created by Fantastic Voyage, Passion Overload takes on the following effects. Cooldown is reduced by 50%. So once you pop Benny's Q, the first thing I need you to do, right away, pop his E, and you are in a valid position. You are a literal battery for energy if you do that. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Secondly, when you're inside Benny's Q, you will not be launched whenever you hold the E down. Let me see if I can, I'm gonna save up some energy so I can show you guys that in a moment, alright? And last but not least, it should be safe. Again, this is Benny, so he's never really safe. When you're in Mondstadt doing an expedition, he'll return 25% faster. So instead of 16 hours, it's now 12, is it 20 hours is the max, and so you'll be done within 16 hours, I think. So that's always a good thing, right? So that was my entire Benny build. Let me show you some gameplay of how he performs, alright? Alright, so we're currently in the domain to pick up some Boreal Fangs, because this is what I'm currently farming for the day. Now let me just show you some of these guys' attack stats. We've got Benny with 811 base attack. Official's got us with a 701 base. And our D-Luke is at 943, but technically we gotta look at their actual things. I don't know how I was doing that. 3242 for D-Luke and 2025 for Official. By the way, Benny without the Pyro Resonance is at about 1619. So we gotta consider that also. Alright. We said D-Luke was at 3242. Let's pop this right away. Pop our E. In and out. He's at 4414. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna show you like the most like broken way to just abuse this, because what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna end up popping Benny's Q, Official's Q to get our 75 or 25% damage buff from her bow, and then we're gonna end it off with D-Luke just obliterating these mobs, alright? Wasn't the Q, but it's still fine. Okay, we are currently at 5027. 70,960. Guys, this can go much more dumb if we had some better stats on all our characters, because my Official, she's not maxed out. Like, I'm not even working on her yet, but she's still a crazy freaking unit on our roster, alright? So that's pretty much gonna cover everything for my very first video for a character build, and it was a lot of fun making it. Like, honestly, I plan to make a bunch more of these because I do want to level up more of my characters to make some insane damage builds, and I'm sure a lot of people have done it, but I'm just playing at my own pace. I'm having fun playing with me and my friends, so hopefully one day I can show you some of their builds, because these guys are some monsters when they play too. They're currently leveling up still, but that's totally fine. It's a blast playing with them, so hope you guys appreciate this and enjoyed watching my build. And this is Star Your First Class, signing out. Later, everybody. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.